I'm so glad I found... Wait, it's me! It's Alfira, from the Grove. I'm sorry for barging in like this, but I had to come find you. You've... well, inspired me. I want to stand on my own 2 feet, to prove that I can be half the bard Lihala was. I want to join you, to fight by your side. I want to help people, as you've helped me. I've been running since El Turel. And when we finally arrived at the Grove, we found danger there too. Unless I hide away from the world, I can't avoid it. So I'd rather face it head-on, with you. Really? Just like that? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Very good. Break out that lute, Bard. I'm in the mood for a song.
I won't let you down. I promise.
Light on my feet.
Almost pleasant traveling with company, if you ignore all the less pleasant aspects.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistril, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like. To be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. To be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel. And with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistril sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistril, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly. For a spell, Mistril was reborn as Mistra. Upon her return, the weave returned with her. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. Try to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go. If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
Hey, soldier.
The
Blade of Frontiers at your calling. He brings to mind a story. The Devil with the Silver Tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales, don't you think? Refuse him, no matter how tempting the offer, no matter how delicious the feast he lays out for you. The cost will be too great. That's because you still have hope. But when he becomes your last hope, remember this. He'll require of you only what you're least ready to part with, and then require more still. You might think you'd give up anything for a cure, but the devil won't take just anything. He'll take everything. My father once said, "One does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call." So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after. Proud? No. Angry. Angry at the monsters preying on innocents. Angry at the so-called good gods for tolerating the cruelty of the evil. Angry at myself that it took so long for me to see the coast suffering. The frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded. Baldur's Gate, born and raised, the only son of a single father. He wanted one life for me. I chose another. We haven't spoken since I left the city. A classic drama, a staunch father and his rebellious son. Better heard from the bard's lips than mine. A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days. By all means. Seems unusual to me. Then again, we're talking about tadpoles inserted into our brains by rubber-skinned tentacle monsters. There's nothing usual about it. All the more reason to stick close. I think you'll agree. Anger. I understand. We've been preyed on by illithids, suffered insertion of a mind-bending worm. Bloodthirst is another matter. But perhaps not too big of one, if it's a devil or demon's flesh you're wanting to tear.
You have a manner of irresistible desperation about you. I like it. Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
You open your eyes with a lurch, and you are not in your bed. You stand above a body which is in a state of gore nearly beyond recognition. The body of that brave girl who earnestly swore to devote her life to your cause. Her blood covers you, and its warmth feels like the embrace of an old friend. You recall nothing of how you ended up here, but your head pounds and aches. A single moment comes to you, the flash of abject terror in her eyes, blood spilling from her lips. No time for last words. There are dozens and dozens of wounds on the corpse. The killer did not stop savaging it, even when she was long gone. And your dominant arm aches. It aches from stabbing over and over. No matter how it appears, the body is there, and her blood is on your hands. The question flows through your mind. Who are you really, that you could be guilty of such bitter business? Something wicked must have woken you. The contemptible pervert within must have lavished slash after slash upon the girl. But where, oh where could that monster have come from? If only you knew yourself better. You don't have much time for reflection now. You need to act. You may only have a few moments before the others awaken and begin to cast blame for the hot sin before you. Your misdeed is bright and clear as the dawning day.
Another waif dead before her time. I wonder how it happened.
You're the one who cried out for us. You must have seen something.
Now, I can't help but notice that one of us is positively drenched in blood. So?
She was brutalized. The killer knifed her many times after she was dead. Was it you? The blood speaks for itself. Why? The parasite must be affecting you deeply.
The worm in your head has never slept more peacefully. You know in your heart it was something deeper, hungrier.
Even if it was the worm, this was peculiar indeed. I'll be watching.
An uneasy feeling lingers in the air. As the Inquisition departs, you are left alone with a familiar headache. Every one of your instincts screams against the saccharine thought. You feel close to fainting again.
Very well. Seems like a good moment to talk.
Alfira wouldn't have harmed a housefly. A gentle young soul slain in her prime.
Go on, then. State your business with me, from a safe distance. If it's all the same to you. sure that will be of small comfort to her.
I thought this camp was supposed to be our safe haven. Not quite so when we wake up to dead tiefling bards. I may have difficulty sleeping for a while. So, you're not in full control of your faculties? If you think it might happen again, warn me. I would hate to have to kill you.
Thy wheel of fate turns ever to the dark. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead? The bard's death is a weight for thine own conscience to bear. She will be left to the peace of eternity, where the urge shall seek her no more.
Step by step. Can't even catch my breath.
Jimmy on the go.
I'm ready. Got to move.
Nothing important is ever easy. Can't slow down.
My faith will protect me. On my way.
a route.
Need to stay focused.
Have to keep going.
Beautiful broken heap smells oddly enticing. You find you can't resist inhaling her offals. You hear what comes next before you see it. The sharp snapping of bones and a yelp of pain as her body starts to twist and undulate. You land a swift strike against her skull. She yelps, then goes still. Whatever horrific creature was growing inside the hyena dies along with her.
A tale for the ages. These.
Time to push my luck again. Have to keep going.
I've got it.
Moving.
Allow me to demonstrate. Place is overrun with gnolls.
Vile beasts. Nothing good is born from a corpse.
We should find the rest. Stop the infestation before it spreads.
These boots have seen everything. But that will fit in my pack. Excellent choice. Looking ahead. Best be on my way. What's hiding here? Smoke. Something's burning.
Is it dark?